concrete walls. There's a place for us where we could go, where we could be alone. Between city lights, we don't have to hide. I wanna go, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? I can't understand why we can't hold hands, but they don't know what we have is real love. Aren't you sick and tired of having to hide? I know a place, do you wanna follow? There's something in the air, I can't explain it, but it's there. Ain't nobody gonna find us in our secret love affair. I don't wanna have to hide no more, it shouldn't be unfair. I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow? Do you wanna follow? Baby, do you wanna follow? Come with me, do you wanna follow? Baby, can't you see that? I wanna go, and I wanna know, do you wanna follow?
How long could I let this go? How long would you guys watch this before you got tired of it? Oh, the good times. Good times. The only good Rotor Ride episode ever. That's right. It's the only one. Yeah. Oh, hang on. I gotta... There we go. Okay. Let's just... No, come on. Let's not... I don't want to waste you guys' time. Hello, everybody. I'm Joshua Bardwell. It's Monday. It's Monday night. It's 8 p.m. and it's time for another Q&A live stream. And it's a very special night because Drib is in the chat. And anytime Drib shows up anywhere, it's extra super special. That's good. I'm glad he's here. I heard that FPV is all about getting together with your friends. What makes good FPV content? Getting together with your friends. Drib, my friend, of course. You get together with your friends and you stand around in a parking lot and you shout a lot about brake calipers and say the F word. Or you go to Chernobyl and you do the dug a dive. I'm getting mixed messages is my point. Because when you go to the Chernobyl and you do the dug a dive, not me, someone did, people better than me. And people are like, that was the best thing ever. Why don't you do more stuff like that? I don't want to see you sitting around in a park. I don't want to see you doing educational material. I want epic shit! And then a live stream, a 240p live stream from a parking lot. Suddenly, but that was the content you should be making. That's the best content. I'm getting mixed messages. That's my point. Drew, next episode. No more amusement parks. No more going to Croatia to see the Game of Thrones castle. No more chasing motorbikes. No more drift cars. No more. None of that. We're going to sit in a parking lot. I don't know. Okay. Hi, everybody. Oh. It's time for this Monday night Q&A live stream. What's going on, chat? Chris Quad. Good morning, Chris Quad. Ian Rushforth. Backwards dive into a volcano. Got that. Got that. We're going to do that. No more drift cars. Jake Allison, I agree with you. Drift cars are dead. The only person who is allowed to chase drift cars anymore is Johnny FPV. Because whatever Johnny does, but no one else is allowed to chase drift cars anymore. Here's what's going on, guys. Here's what's going on. Are you new here? It's not usually like this. I've only just gotten started. If you're new here, say hello. Mighty Thor, what's going on, buddy? Johnny Rambo. Johnny Rambo is asking a question, and that is what we're here for. Johnny Rambo says, I have a Fury F3S with OSD, but the OSD don't show on the screen. Help! Johnny, maybe you flashed the wrong target to it. Did it used to work, but now it doesn't work because you flashed it? Maybe you flashed the wrong target? That's what we do. Here's how it goes. Look here. Hang on a second. I got to get out of the, I got to get over here and get on my and right here. What's up? Okay. Up here in the upper right, this is what we call the pleb chat. Y'all over here are the plebs. I love you. I respect you. I will answer your questions. But once upon a time, somebody accused me of not answering questions from people who didn't like super chat. And he said he won't answer the pleb questions. And ever since then, I felt like you guys, I call you plebs. This is the pleb chat. I'm going to answer your questions. If you want to make sure I don't miss your question, hit the $ that you should see right here, but I don't see it and I don't know why. Hit the $ right here. Send me a super chat. Matt F. already sent me a super chat. Thank you, Matt, for 20 bucks. Thanks for all your help. See, that's how you do it. Panda FPV, thanks for $5. I will get to your question, Panda FPV, in just a moment. And over here on the left, what is up to these special hands of people? These are my patrons over here on my Discord server: Calvo, Dr. Spank, Ghost Branch FPV, OCD FPV, and more. And if you want to join that elite cadre, all you have to do is join my Patreon for as little as $2 a month. You can join my Discord server. That's all. Well, we're going to get to the section I like to call the news of the week. Oh, obligatory. What am I drinking? This is Mio. Oh, sorry about that, guys. This is a Mio fruit punch squirt. Mio does not sponsor my live streams, but if they did, I would take their money. I don't like to take sponsorships from companies in FPV because it compromises my objectivity. But I will totally take a Mio. Anybody out there know Mio's ad agency? Mio, sponsor my live streams. Fruit punch. Okay, a little bit of news of the day. The first piece of news I want to do is I spent all day today doing a this. Oh, hang on, I got this. Oh, check this out. I spent all day today doing a this. What? Hey, Drew, are you still in the chat? I'm bringing this with me on our trip. The ultimate spectator goggle, am I right? Yeah, it works. It's not just cosmetic. I'm showing you this because I think you're going to think it's cool. I think it's cool. Look at that. It's a DJI goggle with a rapid fire in it. Heck yeah. It totally works. Check this out. Check this out. Hang on. I got to put this on the GoPro. Okay, hang on. Hang on. Oh, there we go. Okay. And we're going to go. Setting. If I'd have really been thinking, I would have had a quadcopter plugged in, but I don't. AVN. Boom. Where's your rapid fire, baby? Now, your last excuse to not get DJI goggles. What? Well, This is potentially the best spectator goggle you could get. It does have a little bit of latency. Is it too much latency? The video will come out soon. The video will come out soon showing you my opinion about the latency. But suffice it to say, I wouldn't have done the mod if I thought it was a waste of your time. So, the other thing is it still doesn't solve the problem that your friends can't see your footage. So, how much does the mod cost? Ion FPV. The 3D printed front, that comes from AIFlight. I should give them credit. Hang on, let me pull it up so you guys. I mean, they did send it to me. It's just like a 20-cent 3D printed piece, but here's the kit. It's from AIFlight RC. I'll paste a link right here in the chat. Paste a link here in the chat. It's 20 bucks. It comes with a voltage regulator and the wiring and stuff, and this 3D print thing. You supply your own module. It's available for Fusion, TrueD, RapidFire, and OwlRC. It's pretty freaking slick. And one of the complaints people have had about this, and I was about to put the complaint in the video, is that it doesn't record DVR from the analog input. So you lose your DVR. But I hear that they're fixing that in a firmware update. So I'm pretty excited about that. Is there latency? You'll have to wait for my video to find out. But suffice it to say, I wouldn't have done the video if I thought it was a waste of time. Did we ever determine if AIFlight is a part of DJI? Asks Jeremy Sarge in the pleb chat. Jeremy, there are two different AIFlight companies. There is a company named AIFlight that is related in some way to DJI, whether it's a subsidiary or I don't know. But the AIFlight that makes the Zing motors and the Success, the most unfortunately named flight controllers in the world. Hey, I know what let's do. Let's take the word sex and then let's put the word sucks in front of it. Also, let's release a flight controller and it's going to be called the Sucks. Well, I ain't mad. They're good flight controllers. The AIFlight, that company is different from DJI. Okay. Other news of the week. I have been working on my 3D printer. I've got the Sovol SV01, in case you wondered. I got another. I actually was just talking to Gene Tech today. They're supposed to be sending me the A01. I think they're going to send it. So but I've been working on the Sovol, and the Sovol did a great job with its test print. And then I thought, okay, I'm just going straight to TPA. And I got some help from some of my patrons. There's a 3D printing channel on my Discord server. I got some help from some of my patrons dialing in the settings, but it just has a problem with the extruder where it won't extrude correctly. It needs a extra piece of sleeving to get to extrude properly. It's supposed to come with it and it didn't, so oops. So I've ordered some of that, but I will show you guys the results of one of my very first prints if I can frickin' find there we go. First TPU attempts. What do we got? Where is it? It's just a mess. Where's the mess? Oh, you can't even see anything. Well, anyway, it was a mess. So, let's start taking some questions now. Question asks AJP Buccanex, the FXT Viper or the Fat Shark Scout for a person with glasses? That's a tough one. The Fat Shark Scout, that's this goggle, in case you were unclear. When I use the Fat Shark Scout, my glasses don't fit inside it. So what you can do is you can remove, there's a lens right here. You can kind of see it in the picture. This is a lens that makes the screen look like it's further away than it really is. And so your eyes don't tire. And what you can do is you can take that lens out and then the screen is basically just like 6 inches from your face. And so then, like for me, I'm nearsighted. When I use the Recon or the Scout, I just take that out and I look at the screen. But that's not the best viewing experience. The FXT Viper, the way it fits over your head, at least you can keep your glasses on. And the FXT Viper has a mirror that bounces the image so it looks like the screen is further away. So if you absolutely insist on keeping your glasses on, I think the FXT Viper is how I lean. Here's this guy. You can do it just like that. See, it's a little hard to keep the glasses on with the Scout. That's my opinion. The Scout is a very good goggle, but just a little hard to do that. Let's see. There's an easy and cheap diopter mod for the Scouts, says Gustavo Scanzerla. Maybe so. Any tips on GoPro Hero settings, Joshua, says Ragnarok FPV. You know, I'll give you my settings, and if Drew is still in the chat, maybe he'll throw his up. Sorry, Drew, I'm just calling you out there. I know you're trying to work or something. On the GoPro Hero 7 and the Hero 6, my key to good settings are lock ISO at 100. This forces it's like an ND filter in that it forces a longer shutter speed and more motion blur. ISO 100 will not give you enough motion blur. You still need an ND filter if you really want the best looking footage, but it will get you as close as you can get if you don't have an ND filter. So lock ISO at 100. I like to shoot at 2.7K 30. If the camera supported 2.7K 60, I would shoot that. But it sometimes makes more sense to render freestyle footage at 30 FPS. The higher frame rate looks smoother, but it also reveals more of the little bobbles and jiggles. And outputting at 30 FPS doesn't look as smooth, but it actually sometimes looks nicer. So 2.7K 30, super view, 100%. The only time I would do wide instead of super view would be if I was doing some kind of like a landscape where I didn't want the distortion, or if I knew I was going to be framing from a distance. Let's see. 2.7K 30, lock ISO 100. Lock white balance before you fly. It's not critical, but it helps if you're going to color grade. And use an ND filter if you can. Those are some thoughts. Oh, and I have sharp. Use GoPro flat color if you're going to do color grading in post, or use GoPro color if you're not. Michael Nichevsky, how do you run 3 screens on streaming? All capture cards only have one input. Michael, I'm streaming from this computer. So right here's my left screen, or my right screen. There's OBS running, right? Here's my middle screen, and here's my left screen. The OBS is just it can capture all of those things. Isn't that cool? Yeah, exactly, Kyle K. OBS is running on this computer. So some pro streamers will usually have a separate computer. They'll game on one machine, and then they'll output that machine into another machine that captures and streams for them. So if their machine crashes, their stream doesn't go down. If this machine crashes, my whole stream's going down. So let's not do that. Okay. So I got some pleb chats out of the way, and I'll be back to the plebs. Let's get the super chats out of the way before we're 25 minutes into the live stream. Panda FPV, thanks for $5 in the super chat. Are there any VTX channels that don't require a ham license, or is it about output power? Panda FPV, that's a very good question, and it's a question that many, many people in FPV get wrong. The answer is, in order to not need a ham license in the US, we're talking about the US here, the video transmitter, the RF device, must have been Part 15 certified. Now, there are requirements for Part 15 certification, like output power and antenna and so forth. But here's the thing that everybody seems to miss. If I have a device that complies completely with Part 15 regulations, but it was never sent to an engineering firm and validated and certified by the FCC, the fact that the device complies with Part 15 doesn't matter. So everybody's like, if I'm under 25 milliwatts, yada, 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 which is all actually wrong. But the real thing is, none of our video transmitters have been actually sent to the FCC for certification. So even if they did comply, it wouldn't matter. You would still need a ham license to use them. You want to know what has been certified? Okay, I'm not trying to go there, but we all fly these things, and lots of us don't have our ham license, and nobody cares. But for people who do care, The DJI, I think it's channels 1, 2, 3, and 4 are actually, maybe it's 1, 2, and 3. I don't remember. It's not all the channels. You can you can use it without a ham license legally. Ragnarok FPV says some race bands are illegal. No, if you have a ham license, all of race band is legal. I'm pretty sure. E-band has a couple illegal channels in it. But the key is that if you don't have a ham license, none of it's legal. Okay. Miguel Armendariz. Thank you for $5. I just received my Jumper T16 Pro. I can't get the channels right for my Spectrum quad. What am I doing wrong? Miguel, I don't know. I think if you're coming from Spectrum, you're used to setting the channel order in the radio and then like it matches. I'm not sure what's going on there, but basically what you need to do, Miguel, is go in the Betaflight receiver tab, go to the channel mapping, and rearrange AETR, TAER, RETA. Rearrange those 4 letters in the channel mapping until your channels are in the right order. That's how you can do it. That's not the only way to solve that problem, but that's how I often solve it. Edis Stuff, thank you for 10 Australian dollars, or as I like to call them, dollary dues. Hi, JB. New to this, just racking up DRL sim hours, but the time is near. Should I just bite the bullet and go DJI? Okay, you guys. Look, here's the thing. I don't want to keep talking about DJI. I don't want my live streams to devolve into DJI Fest. But you keep asking about DJI, and it's a $10 super chat, so I am obligated. I have no choice but to answer this question. I'll try and keep it short. Here's my official answer. Let's assume that you have the money to go DJI, and let's assume that you don't care about the political, business, cultural implications of DJI moving in. Because if you don't have the money, or if you think DJI is going to destroy FPV, then it doesn't matter. It's deal breaker. So let's assume that because you're asking the question that you don't care about those things. Fine. Should you go DJI or should you go analog? DJI costs more than analog, but we assume you have the money. But you're going to spend a lot more over the life of 10, 15, 20 quads to put DJI in them than you would to put analog in them. DJI lacks a social aspect. Until all your friends also have DJI, you can't spectate them. Well, I guess if you do this, you can spectate them. Bye-bye your warranty. And they can't spectate you. And that hurts more than you think it will. But if you don't have any friends anyway and you only fly by yourself, then you don't care. There's no question that DJI offers a better FPV experience in almost every way. It's not perfect, but it's better. And everybody I know who's tried it is impressed by it. So, should you go DJI or analog? Oh, the other thing is DJI currently cannot fit on micros smaller than about 3 inches. There are some 3-inch DJI quads, but they're pretty heavy. So if you are somewhere with really long winters and you're going to be flying whoops, well, I guess technically you could do this mod, and then you could just get a second set of goggles. Have I answered your question? If you're asking yourself, should I just bite the bullet and go DJI? You probably should. That's the thing. I don't know anybody who has bought DJI and then gone, this sucks. I so regret this decision. So you probably just should. You won't know what you're missing. License to drive. Thanks for £5. Print this to help you solder your quads. Thank you, License to drive. Travis Laffey, thanks for $5. Any thoughts on flashing from Flight 1 to Falco X? Yeah, Travis, do it. Falco X is amazing. If your flight controller supports Falco X, go for it. The ability to completely configure it in the OSD is pretty cool. Have they released the configurator? Guys? For Falco X? Because if you have a lot of quads, or if you need to back up and restore your config, it is kind of annoying to have to set them up from scratch every time. But that's coming. Yeah, if you have Flight 1, go Falco X. It's the future. Okay, see? Now look. That was the super chats. Yeah, Jack Crisp says, I got DJI, and I kind of didn't want to like it as much as I do. You're not alone there, Jack. Lots of people who are like, screw DJI. They are the worst. Oh, yeah, well, no, I mean, I'll have a... Hang on a second. And then their face does this. Watch, watch. Here's what their face does. I can't put this on over my... Okay. They're like... And then they're like, that's pretty good. Variable latency is a killer, though, says Snapback FPV. Snapback, the people who say variable latency is a killer mostly are just repeating things they heard other people say. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Lots of people say, "Oh, but the DJI, the variable latency, that's the killer." You heard somebody else say that, but you haven't flown it because, like, when you fly it, it just isn't really an issue most of the time. Every so often, I'll fly into an area and suddenly the latency pops and I'll be like, whoa, 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 whoa. But if you fly analog, every so often you fly into an area and you lose video. So, I mean, nothing's perfect. Okay. License to drive one. You want me to click on the Thingiverse thing? Okay, hang on, license to drive. I didn't realize that was... I thought you were just trying to give me a good print and I was going to look at it later. Let's see. What is license to drive super chat about? What a jumbo tic-tac solder dispenser. It like rolls up the solder. Well, that's kind of cool. Okay. That's kind of cool. Yeah. All right. What's a good 4S battery that's not too expensive, says Finn in the pleb chat. I like race day quads, house line, get FPVs. Xylo line is a decent budget battery, and of course CNHL is a decent budget battery. I can't keep going. We're 22 minutes into the live stream. I gotta get over to the Discord and speak to these lovely handsome people who support me every month on Patreon. What's going on here? What are you talking about over here, patrons? Pat's Head wants to know when we are coming to visit Vanover in Texas to film an episode of 3. No clue. My next trip, I'm actually leaving tomorrow. I should let you guys know. This coming Sunday and Monday, I will be on the road. I am going to Seattle to visit RC Test Flight, if you know his channel. Me and Drew and some of the other Rotor Riot guys are going to do a collab with him. We met him a few months ago at Duke University when the Duke University RC Club had us out. And we got along and we had some ideas for collab. So I'm going to meet him and do some collab with him. That's our next trip. I don't know when we're going to Texas. Skillet FPV asks, do you ever watch your patrons' FPV vids? In fact, there's a whole channel on my Discord, post flight videos here. And I come through here every now and then. You could just see there when the last time I checked was. I come through here every now and then and check you guys' videos out. I totally do. I mean, I don't watch everyone, but yeah, I totally do. Let's see here. Am I going to review the Eocene Eevee 800DM? Villamil, so box goggles are, my goal with box goggles is not to try every single one, but just to kind of get a sense of which is a really good one, test it out and see if I can sort of put it on my website and stand behind it. I've heard so many good reviews of the Eevee 800DM. I expect to like it, but I haven't seen it yet. Have I gotten a chance? Ian F. in the Discord wants to know if I've gotten a chance to test the new FlySky Paladin transmitter yet. The FlySky Paladin. Here's what it looks like in case you're unclear. Here is the FlySky Paladin. What do you think of that? Here's what I think of it. I think it doesn't run OpenTX. So, I mean... love it or hate love the form factor or hate it. I mean, it's kind of big too. I mean, I haven't seen it in my hand, so maybe I'm wrong, but it looks pretty freaking big. This just doesn't seem like something someone would spend $300 on this and be really happy with it, but I'm just not that guy. It looks cool, but it doesn't run OpenTX. It's a FlySky radio. I like OpenTX. Oh, now it's down to $250. So, yeah, that's my opinion. Dr. Spank wants to know what the battery life is like on the DJI goggles. Well, you just use any 4S or 3S LiPo that you have, and the battery lasts as long as it lasts. Just depends on the goggles. Just depends on the battery size. Sharp Pizza FPV in the Discord wants to know about moving a quad from 4S to 6S. Here's what you want to go from 4S to 6S. Are you changing motors, Sharp Pizza? That's what I need to know. I mean, if you're going to change motors, then just go to like a 1700 kV motor, and you probably won't have to change very much. You're just probably good to go, assuming your ESC can take it. I do have yeah, you are changing the motors. Okay, then just change the motors to like a 1650, 1750 kV. You probably aren't going to have to make many changes because the RPM is going to be about the same. Let's see here. Heading back to the pleb chat. What's OpenTX? Asks, I didn't see their name. Oh, Corey Guy in the pleb chat wants to know, what is OpenTX? OpenTX is the operating system that runs on the FlySky Tyrannus, the Jumper T16, and many other transmitters. The nice thing about OpenTX is it is super powerful and programmable. Some people find this to be the not nice thing about it because it's also got a bit of a learning curve. But I like it because whatever you want to do with OpenTX, you can do it. All the fancy special logic, etc., it can do it. And OpenTX interface is consistent across all these different radios. So when I switch from the Tyrannus X9D to the QX7 to the Horus X12 to the Jumper T16, all of these radios run OpenTX, and I know how to configure and navigate them without having to like learn some new operating system that only applies to one radio. So Dobo2 wants to know, I got the DJI FPV system, ordered the Holybro Kakute F7 stack. What motors to buy to use with 4S then 6S when I get better? Can I buy one type of motor? Dobo, what determines a motor's battery voltage is its KV rating. And a KV rating means the RPM that the motor will make when a voltage is applied to it. So a higher KV motor will spin faster for the same voltage. So since 6S is a higher voltage than 4S, 6S motors typically have a lower KV because the goal is to keep the RPM at the prop about the same. What you could do is you could get some 1750 to 1900 kV motors and run them on 4S when you're a beginner. That quad will still fly pretty well, especially if you're a beginner, but it won't be ultra powerful. And then as you switch to 6S, you'll get more power and performance, but you won't have to switch your motors. Skilt FPV in the Discord and Stan want me to watch some patron videos on stream. No, I'm gonna pass on that. This isn't really a community spotlight. That's just not the key thing, is to not disappoint your audience. If people come to the live stream for a Q&A and they don't get a Q&A, then they get a little disappointed. So I think I'm going to pass on that. Okay. Let's see here. How's the 3D printing going? Asks H. Dixon. H. Dixon, I was hoping that by 3D printing, I could find something that would just let me print TPU right out of the box with no fussing about, and I did not yet find that. The printer that I have, the Sovol SV01, there is a lot that I like about it, but it looks like it came from the factory with a tiny piece missing. That means that it won't extrude TPU reliably. So I'm going to have to open it up and put that piece in. I hear it's a 15-minute fix, and not all of them have the part missing. But I got to say, I'm a little disillusioned. But then again, that's how it is. And now the chat will fill up with people saying, if you want a 3D printer that you just order and it works, buy a Prusa. And that may be true, but not everybody can spend $750 on a printer. And, you know, I want to find the $300 printer that I can just make it work. Yep. H. Dixon says the Ender 3 works perfect with TPU out of the box. Well, Dixon, I think that the Sovol works right with TPU out of the box. So if you know a little bit about 3D printing, so the extruder, it's a direct drive extruder, and then there is a kind of a gap between the hot end and the hob gear, I think it's called. And that gap is supposed to have a piece of PTFE tubing, which keeps the filament from all crinkling up. Well, some of them ship without that tubing, and you have to put it in yourself. So there you go. Yeah, I ordered some of the tubing. I'm sorry to say that it won't get here before tomorrow, and I'm going on a trip, so. I will say though, I mean, I've learned a lot in the few hours of screwing around while my patrons in the Discord channel gave me suggestions. I've learned about how you might go about solving this solving the situation. Yeah. Ghost Branch FPV in the Discord has an Ender 3 Pro where he's been printing TPU all day long, trying to get the best profiles. What am I drinking? It's fruit punch. Prusa Mini is $350, but you can't get it till February, so There you go. Kevin Hagen, starting shit. What do you think personally and honestly about Mr. Steele? He ain't looking. I won't tell. Mr. Steele is an excellent pilot. He's dedicated to FPV. He's built a strong brand with ethics, and he has a crazy house, a beautiful car. He's living the dream. Not everybody gets along with him, but yeah. Not everybody gets along with everybody. Spud Nick wants to know, what's better to have? Enough spare parts to replace anything on your quad or another quad? Spudnik, I think that if you travel, if you go on trips and you want to make sure your quads are running, just build 3 of the same quad. Don't have spares. And what happens is you're flying, you crash, you wreck your quad. Just put that quad back in your backpack, get quad number 2 out, go, keep flying. Then, at the end of the day, you're back at the hotel room, the Airbnb, your buddy's couch. You take all the quads, you put them on the table, and you figure out how to get your working quads. So you take the motors off this quad, you take the flight controller off that one. But as long as they're identical, you have spares, but you also have a working quad. That's how to do it. That's my opinion. That's right. Make them literally identical. That way your quads are your spares. Got a bunch more super chats coming in. Thank you guys for your generosity. Let me catch up with these super chats. Burn FPV, thanks for 10 Australian dollars. The company I work for is folding in on itself, so I got sent home this morning. First time I've caught a live stream. Hi, everybody. Well, sorry to hear about your job, but glad to have you on the stream. Hold on to your money if you're going to need it, if your company's having a problem. YouTube, and thanks for $2. Are you going to share your Nazgul 6S tune? My review of the Sedora, the AIFlight... Excuse me. Pardon me. How rude. Alex, what? Just mute me. Mute me when I burp. You can't do... That should be possible, right? I need like a 7-second delay. I'm reviewing the Nazgul, the AIFlight Nazgul and Sedora. I talked about them a little bit on yesterday's stream. That video might come out this week, might get pushed to next week, depending on what's... I got a lot of stuff queued up while I'm going on this trip. I will be sharing the tune, but honestly, the Nazgul flew pretty good out of the box. I didn't feel the need to do much to it, except both the Nazgul and the Sedora ship with air mode turned off, and I really think it should be on. I did upgrade them both to 4.1, and I think they flew better, but I didn't do a lot of tuning on the Nazgul because I thought it was pretty good right out of the box. Calvin Erickson, thanks for $10. Psh, he says, that's it. Arctic Drone, thanks for 55 Norwegian kroner. Emax Motors, oh good, this is going to be a good one. RS 1106, 6,000 kV, really hot at 2 minutes of hovering. 3-inch props, 3S, 1400 milliamp hour battery, diatonium, blah, 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 blah. 200 gram quad. 1106 motors, 6000 kV on 3S? I gotta pull out a quad, a reference quad. 1106 on 3-inch props. What is this guy? I gotta get my. I don't have my 3-inch calibrated yet. 1105, 5000 kV. So this is. Yeah, here's what I think. Here's what stands out to me. Arctic drone. This is the Beta FPV HX 115. It has 5000 kV 1105 motors, so slightly lower kV and slightly smaller than yours. On 3S, this quad flies great with a 450 milliamp hour battery. So the battery is like a third the size of yours. And it weighs like 90 grams. Your quad weighs twice as much as this, has a battery 3 times as big, but it has the same motors. My gut feeling is your quad is way too freaking heavy. But I still am learning about micros. So if the chat tells me different, then I will defer to them. Heart of America FPV, thanks for $5. What would a desync look like in black box? The motor trace would go to 100%. The motors would go to 100%. Whichever one desynced would go all the way to 100%. Thank you, Redbeard the Pilot, for $20. Tipping in the Washington Wine Fund for your upcoming trip. People are saying I should bring wine back from Seattle. I do like wine. My quad keeps going into failsafe when I flip the GPS rescue with 9+ sats and 300 meters out. Ooh, that is, you got me. Redbeard, I don't know the answer. When you activate GPS rescue and the quad just falls out of the sky, it usually means you're too close to the home position. You got to be at least 100 meters from the home position. But you're 300 meters out, so that's not it. Can you verify, Redbeard, using the OSD, that Betaflight thinks you're 300 meters from home? Like, that you can put the home distance in the OSD. Just verify. And the other thing it can do it is not enough sats. But if you have 9+ sats, there is a min sats setting that you're going to want to check and make sure that hasn't been changed. Squishy FPV, thanks for $2. Thanks for your help with my ESC this weekend. That's it. Okay, good. Now we're caught up on the chats. Thomas Bianco in the pleb chat wants to know, do you fly X-Class often? Oh, hang on. Thomas Bianco, I don't fly my X-Class often. I said if you owned a $500,000 Ferrari, you wouldn't take it to the grocery store. The Beast Class quad is so stressful to fly that it's not fun. It's an exhibition piece. Nick Burns is in the chat. Nick Burns, I hope he was weighing in on my comment about the motors. I hope I was right. What 3-inch props on those Eco Emax motors? Yeah, 3-inch prop is too big for those motors. That's exactly right. This is a 2.5. I believe. Is it a 2.5 or a 3? It's a 3, but it only weighs like 75 grams. Yay! Nick Burns kind of said I was right. Yay! Also, just honored that Nick Burns dropped by my live stream. Wow. Sar wants to know in the Discord. Thank you for being a patron, Sar. If you want to join my Discord server, there's a link in the video description to my Patreon page. You can join for as little as $2 a month, or I like to say, or more if you feel like I earned it. Sar wants to know, how many flights should you expect to get out of a motor on 5-inch? I used to bigger motors with bigger bearings that seem to last forever, but quad motor bearings just seem to be trash. Sar, quad motor bearings quite often are trash. Some premium motors have high-end bearings like NSK bearings. Very few people want to do it because they are just they'll add $3 or $4 to the price of a motor just putting the really good bearings in. And most people don't know the difference, and the motor is fine for like the first 20 flights, and then the bearings just go to crap and the motor flies like crap. So if you're using quality motors with quality bearings, they can last a long time. One of the things I like to point out is AIFlight will they have actually like a rubber bushing that helps absorb shock and prevent shock from the bell being transmitted to the bearings, which is kind of cool and seems to add some durability. You can't do better. Who are the best bearings? There's the NSK, but that's not the best one. NSK are very good. What's the Japanese bearings? I'm blanking. Those are some of the best. Will Price in the Discord says, I have a Beta FPV 75 Pro 2. It always fail-safes at the start of every flight. When I fly about 6 feet away. After rearming, it'll work fine till the next battery. Will Price, what does it say in the OSD when that happens? Does it say RX loss or fail-safe or something? That's the place I would start and just double-check that what's happening is really fail-safe and not something else. I'm still thinking about that 3-inch quad with the Emax 1106 motors. Like, I'm building an Acrobat, and my Acrobat is going to be around 250 grams, and we're going with 1506 motors. So you've got and right here we've got like a 95 100 gram quad with 1105 motors. So you've got, like, it feels like 1106 is way too small for that quad. It's just me. NSK are the Japanese bearings. There's another one, though, with Z in it. What am I thinking of? The bearing company. It's 3 letters, and it's got a Z. Anyway. RX loss. Will Price says it says RX loss. Okay, well, that confirms your fail-safing. Then, you know, we got to just figure out if you're fail-safing. Is it probably it's not your antennas or your RF link because you're so close. Maybe it's power, or maybe it's your flight controllers messed up. EZO. That's it. Stan, thank you in the Discord. EZO, and the chat is filling it up. EZO bearings. Those are, EZO and NSK are like 2 of the best bearings you can find. EZO are a little bit like more known, I think. And when a motor company wants you to know they put expensive bearings in, they say EZO bearings. NSK are also very good, though. Matthew Lowe. Here he is. Matthew Lowe. Remember I said people from the DJI community are getting into FPV because DJI put these goggles out? Not everybody thinks that's a good thing. I do. I think it's a good thing. Matthew Lowe is here in the chat. Welcome, Matthew. Very informative channel. DJI user here, moving to FPV. What's your recommendation on getting an HD output to live stream from an FPV drone? How difficult is this? Well, Matthew, it's funny you say that because... Let me move my drink, my glowing red drink out of the way. No, you know what? I'm going to leave it. Enjoy my glowing red drink. Matthew, right here, that is a USB-C port. And you may know that USB-C can also act as an HDMI output. So, all you have to do is plug a USB-C to HDMI adapter into these goggles, and it won't work. It won't do anything. Because DJI has nerfed it. DJI doesn't want you getting HDMI out of these goggles because DJI wants you to pay thousands of dollars for them to come run your race for you, run your live event. There is not currently available to the public an HDMI adapter for the DJI goggles. I know that such a thing must exist because DJI has, people have told me that DJI has a service where if you are DRL or multi-GP, they will come and like run your event for you and you'll have high definition images on giant screens. But you as a consumer can't get that right now. So there is no option for you to live stream the output of your goggles or to put it on a screen. It's simply, the only option is to do like Mr. Steele did in the best live stream ever. You take a GoPro or a phone and you stick it, you literally hold it up into the, yeah, how lame is that? Okay. Kyle K, has anyone taken the goggles apart? Kyle K, I have taken the goggles apart. Let me just show you guys something. This is going to blow your freaking mind. Actually, I literally was doing this 2 hours before this live stream. I filmed this video today. I recorded this video today. I haven't even edited it yet. Hold on. Where is the... cannot... There it is. What's a good video where I've got the goggles taken all apart? Am I taking them apart here or am I putting them together? Hang on. Oh, there you go. Here you go, guys. This is the... Oh, what? No, that's the wrong video. Damn it. This video. There you go. You want to see DJI goggles taken apart? I know what you want to see. Oh, no, that's where I'm putting them back together. Oh, my God. Come on. There we go. Oh, here I'm soldering to a rapid fire. Yeah. So, yeah. There they are, taken apart. There's the inside of a DJI goggles. Jamie Levy, all DJI. Why no HDO talk? Jamie, it's a Q&A. You want to know about HDO? Ask a question about HDO. Just people are asking about DJI. That's all. Anyway, this will be coming out maybe, this will come out maybe in a week and a half. Let's see here. Test Pilot ERB wants to know, if you need to remap the motors on your foreign one, can you just switch the signal wire in the plug instead of going to the CLI? Yes, absolutely you can. Hold on a second. I have to stop Google Drive from... There we go. Google Drive's trying to upload and screw up my live stream. I can't have that. Yes, you can switch the wires. Personally, I don't like to do that because... Two reasons. Number one, if you switch the wires and later forget you switch the wires, then it's not going to work the next time you swap the ESC or some weird, you know, you could mess yourself up. But the other thing is, it's just so easy to do it. Because when you do it with the wires, it's kind of trial and error. You're like, oh, which motor do I need to swap? I don't know. But when you do it in the CLI, it's really freaking easy. And if you screw it up, it's easy to fix. I have a video that talks about how to do it. Here is my video, Test Pilot ERB. Here's my video about board alignment, and it shows you how to remap the motors. Yeah. Ian F. wants some antenna recommendations for Sky Zone goggles in the Discord. We're back at the Discord, by the way. I feel obligated to say I am right now... get over here. How about some HDO talk? This DJI goggle, I'm so tempted right now to throw. You know, I have a habit of occasionally I just throw things over my shoulder as a gag. I couldn't do it. I was so tempted to just throw these over my shoulder, but I couldn't bring myself to do it. Let's talk HDO. Here we go. Boom. Antenna recommendations for Sky Zones or whatever. Right now, the antennas I've got them, hey, it's too tall. Get in there. Get in the shot. Oh, there you go. No, hang on. There we go. It's the video aerial systems. The VAS. This is the Crosshair Extreme, and this is the Ion V2. These are both some of the best antennas you can get, depending on your situation. Not the best for every situation, but very, very good antennas, and I have no problem recommending them. The other antennas that you can find are on my website, fpvknowitall.com. where I have a whole section FPV equipment. I have a whole section about FPV equipment, including antennas, and I have some other antennas that I recommend. Pat said, I'm afraid I am not the right age to get that reference. Sorry, man. Tony Briz, does the HDO2 come with the 18650 battery case? Yes, it does, Tony. No more dual Omnis, asks Tumbleweed. Tumbleweed, dual Omnis are the right setup for certain situations, but I'll tell you what got me to stop using the dual Omnis. I was doing a test flight, actually, and I flew a distance in a direction, and immediately I lost signal, and I was like, oh, crap. And then I put my patch antenna back on, or my crosshair back on, and suddenly I got way more, like, shocker. Having a directional antenna gives you way more range. And I always said to myself when I went with the dual Omnis, I'm going to fly it until I notice a difference. Because Omnis, they do give you more circular coverage. But that day I was like, okay, well, I'm going back to my patch. Okay. Let's see here. Back to the chat. Hello, plebs. Monty Peak says, I can't tell whether Joshua is pro or anti DJI. I am neither pro nor anti. That's dumb. That's dumb. It's like, it's just dumb. I mean, DJI I am pro good stuff. This is a very good product. It's an amazing product. This, HCO2, very good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Don't let him touch. Don't let him touch. Oh! Oh, that was close. That was close. What would have happened if they had been... Oh. And then suddenly, like, I grow horns or something. No, come on. These are both excellent products. You don't have to be pro or anti anything. You don't have to take a side. You could take... It's like going to a restaurant and going, well, sir, we have lobster and we have steak. Now, are you pro steak or are you pro lobster? And I'm like, yes. That's surf and turf. Surf and turf. Okay? Can we all agree? I mean, vegetarians, just stop, mute the stream for a second. Can we all agree surf and turf is awesome? You don't have to pick. That's my point. Wiccan FPV says, have you noticed any interaction from the rapid fire running when the DJI is on digital? Wiccan, I haven't, but I literally did the mod this afternoon. I literally haven't flown this at all. So... Sean's FPV, I use rapid fire mode too, but here's the key thing. Here's the key thing. And Tony Cake is talking about just making this the default. When you run, turn on, please. There we go. That sexy on-off button. When you run rapid fire mode 2, you got to go and you got to, there it is. You set the sync lock to short. This should just be the default. If you have a rapid fire, just go do this right now. What sync lock short does is when you're in rapid fire mode 2 and it's about to lose sync and you're about to crash, it drops back to rapid fire mode 1 automatically. So if you don't have sync lock, you need to update the firmware on your module. Oh, we got a spammer. There's a spammer in the chat. Victor G is spamming the chat with questions. I should be mad, but I just kind of feel bad. I feel bad for somebody who's trying hard to get their question answered. Victor G, I'm going to answer your question even though you're filling the chat up with emojis. What's the best 3-inch quad? The best 3-inch quad, Victor. Listen carefully. Victor, listen carefully. The best 3-inch quad is the one that works best for you. Yes. Thank you. I'll be here all week. The best 3-inch. What's the best 3-inch? I don't know. Best 3-inch for freestyle. Best 3-inch for freestyle is the Acrobat, says Spudnik. Yeah, Acrobat carries weight. Carries weight like a bigger quad. For freestyle, you can fling it. I am a huge... I'm just gonna go with it. I'm a huge fan of the Beta FPV HX115. When I released my review of the HX115, there's always going to be somebody in the comments who's like, no, the such and such is better. The Diatone Cube is better. Well, maybe it is, but I can't fly everything. And I just was so happy flying this thing that I was just like, forget it. I'm just going hard on it. HX115, really big fan of this. This is not, I mean, it's like a lightweight. It's a toothpick style, so it's not going to fly like an Acrobat. But the Diatone GT369 is also quite good. I think it's quite good. I think it flies really nice. Diatone 3-inch, ready to fly. Yeah, AIFlight DC3 comes with DJI in it. I think, yeah, the AIFlight. That's, can't believe somebody got a DJI into a 3-inch. DC3, that's it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this nonsense. No, we're not clicking on Albert Kim's video. He can get his own clicks. No, I like Albert Kim. That's just a little friendly YouTuber rivalry. Look at that. How do you get a freaking DJI into a 3-inch? What's the world coming to? What is the world coming to? Donald Trump is the president, and there's a DJI air unit and a 3-inch quad. I don't even know. Up is down, down is up. Dogs and cats living together. Don't start with the political stuff. I was a one-off line. Just let it go, guys. Just let it go. Don't fill up the chat with that nonsense. That's pretty impressive. $350. I mean, you got to want that. Okay. Don't do it, Brandon. Don't do it. I get to make that joke. You guys don't go there. No political stuff in the chat. We're gonna keep it nice. Gepar C 3-inch DJI quad. They're supposed to be sending. They're supposed to be sending me one of those. So. Victor will stop spamming. Yes, we did it. Enzo Pedrera. Yeah, Kiss versus Betaflight. How we doing in the super chats? Max Beamer, thanks for $5. Live long and prosper, Max. There you go. Oh, there you go. Kids these days don't know what this is. Gyre FPV, thanks for $5. If you're cool with it, when are you going to be in Seattle? It'd be amazing to rip with you sometime. We're going to be in Seattle. I'm flying on Tuesday. Unknown whether there will be the ability to do any community stuff. Whenever we travel, we like to try to do community stuff, but here's the problem is it's always such a short notice because our schedule is really crazy. So I'll be in Seattle, the shooting with RC Test Flight. He's the guy who put the 1,000-watt LED on a drone and flew it over the countryside. So... Squitchy FPV, thanks for $2. Oh, I got you already, Squitchy. Serenity 17, thanks for $5 Canadian. Sorry that here's $5 Canadian. Sorry the donation's not bigger. That's my impression of a Canadian. I apologize if that's offensive. That was it. That was my Kramer moment right there. Kramer, remember the actor Michael Richards, and he famously did a routine where he ended up just basically screaming the N-word again and again. I'm not sure it was supposed to be comedy. That was it. That was my Michael Richards moment. I made fun of Canadians. Sorry. I apologize for that characterization. Serenity 17, should I worry about wearing out the female SMA connectors on my rapid fire and crossfire module if I remove my antennas every time I put them away? Serenity, you are not wrong to be worried about that. I do know people who just take their antennas off all the time and never have a problem, but the number of mating cycles of an SMA connector, it's actually not infinite. I mean, nothing is. So you can see what I've done, and other people do this as well. Here, let me turn this guy off. With my power switch, I've got a right angle and a 45 degree angle adapter on there, and I leave those on permanently. And I just take the antennas off, but I leave the adapters on so that if it does wear out, I can just swap that adapter. So that's how you do it. UAV Tech is in the chat. What's up, Mark Spatz? How you doing there? How you doing there? Mark is the man when it comes to PID tuning and filtering. Andy RC is in the chat. Wow, my chat is so popular. I just feels really good. The Bacon Deity wants to know if I'd consider doing a community spotlight. Well, I don't know. Crash Test FPV in the Discord. Here's why I say, hang on, Crash Test. The reason I say I don't know is I love the idea of doing a community spotlight, but Rotor Riot did community spotlights for a while, and every single one lost subscribers. YouTube will show you whether your video gained or lost you subscribers, and like all of the Rotor Riot community spotlights lost subscribers. And at some point, we were like, I guess we're going to stop doing these because we're literally driving people away. So everybody's like, community spotlight is so great. Shine the light on unknown pilots. But then you see us do it and you unsub. So I don't think I'll take a chance on that. Crash Test FPV. What camera do you use to stream? Crash Test, this is a Lumix G85. Lumix G85 is a pretty solid camera for the money. Its autofocus is crap, though. Tony Briz wants to know if I'm going to review the Ethics Hobby Mat. Tony Briz, I will review the Ethics Hobby Mat for you because you're a patron, Tony. I'm going to do it right now. Ethics Hobby Mat. Where's the Ethics LTD? I can't find the Ethics Ltd. Here we go. Is this where where's the Ethics store? I need to find the Ethics Hobby Mat. Where's the shop? Okay. I don't, but where's the, I don't, Tony, how, I can't find it, Tony. Ethics. Okay. I was going to review it, Tony. Doesn't exist. Oh, hey, Ciati's here too. Wow, everybody's here. Yeah, I'll take a look at the TBS store. Okay, let's look on the TBS store. Team Black Sheep store. No, TBS is banned from my stream. Because that's what, because I don't know. No, they're not. They're not. That's a joke. Oh, here we go. Ethics. Ethical. Where's it? Hobby Mat. Ethics Prop Organizer. Ethics Tyrannus Screen Protector. Ethics Neck Strap. I still don't see it. Ethics Hobby Mat. Am I missing it? Okay, well, there you go. There's your review. The dates, GyroFPV, the dates are the 5th through the 9th is when I'll be in Seattle. Let me just make sure you get that. Okay. So the Ethics Hobby Mat doesn't exist, and as such, I cannot recommend that you buy it. Here's what I was going to do, though. I was setting up a joke. I was going to be like, it's a hobby mat. What is there to say? Max Beamer wants to know what I think about the Tango 2. I don't know. It doesn't exist. I do know if you go watch Steele's live stream from yesterday, Stingy accidentally leaked it a little bit on camera. You can kind of see it. I can't have an opinion about a product that doesn't exist yet. Yeah. Chris Squad says, why would Rotorite care about unsubs on community spotlight videos? It's obviously just angry people unhappy their video didn't get featured. I don't know how you make that conclusion, Chris. I don't know how you make that conclusion. Yeah. If it's a net negative subs, then that's not a good sign. I mean, it depends. You have to serve your audience. If you're serving your audience and people who aren't your audience are leaving, then that's a good thing. I mean, people who hate your content should leave and not fill up the, they should just go. It really is weird when people who obviously hate your content then stick around the comment section to troll you. It's like, just like, if you like the comment but you have something negative to say, yeah, like it's not like we all have to be sunshine and roses all the time, but if you just hate the content and think it sucks, why are you there? Go, unsub, leave. Don't just stay and make everybody miserable. So, yeah. Heated lipo bag. Tony mentions the heated lipo bag. That is nice. I last saw a heated lipo bag. There was a Hobby King one. You basically plug a 3S lipo into it and it keeps your batteries warm. My heated lipo bag is my car. In the winter when it's too cold to fly, I just sit in my car and keep my batteries warm that way. When will the HDO2 hit the U.S., Bill Riffett? I don't know the exact dates, but I have heard a few weeks is when it will be actually shipping. If you want one, you should pre-order it, because if you don't pre-order it, it'll be even longer. How's that brat build going? Asks Ciati FPV. I finished the brat build, Ciati. Unfortunately, I cannot fit the gosh darn RunCam hybrid in the front of it because the camera hits the board. So I had to put a freaking Ratel in it, even though I really wanted to run the RunCam hybrid. I may go back and try and do it again. And Tommy said when they get stock of the Acrobat V2, he will send me one. It has extended the front end a little bit to make it easier to get split cameras in there. For now, the build is finished. Not maiden, but finished. And I would still love to try to get the hybrid in there. Hand warmers. MBFPV says, just use hand warmers. I throw them in my lipo bag. It's not a bad idea, MB. You do need to keep your lipos warm. In case you didn't already know this, cold lipos perform much worse than warm ones. If it's winter and it's like even 40 degrees, never mind like below freezing, you got to keep your lipos warm. Drunken FPV, thanks for $5 in the super chat. Drunken FPV, remember, the FAA does not allow drinking with a blood alcohol level over 0.04 or within 8 hours of consuming any alcohol. TBS Nano VTX changes to a different channel every time I start. I can see and use it maybe 6 out of 10 times I power it on. Unlocked. Any ideas? Drunken FPV, have you got smart audio hooked up? Whenever I'm having trouble with a VTX, my solution is always to try to get smart audio hooked up, because that will let me like actually freaking know what channel it thinks it's on. Smart audio is a two-way communication. Not everybody knows that. A lot of people think it's just one way. It's two-way communication, so you can tell the VTX what channel you want it on, and the VTX can tell the flight controller what channel it thinks it's on. You can get the same effect just by looking at the flashing lights when it first powers up, but it's kind of annoying. It shouldn't be changing channels every time it's powered on, though, should it? It should be on the same channel it was on last time. So sometimes this means that people are like using the auto scan function on their goggles. The auto scan function is not reliable. And if you're using the auto scan function to find your VTX, it's okay for like just getting a picture, but it's not reliable for telling the actual channel that the VTX is on. So a Drunken FPV, I would get smart audio working. And then in the Betaflight configurator, in the VTX tab, you can play with it and see what channel it thinks it's on and what channel you want it to be on. That's what I would do. Ciati is going to be streaming after me tonight. He didn't stream yesterday because he was too busy betraying Rotor Riot. No, wait, no, he doesn't work for Rotor Riot. Ciati, were you out flying with the boys? Ciati said he couldn't do his live stream on Sunday because he was ripping it up in Atlanta. And then I see this giant live stream where everybody and their mother is. Steele's there, Tommy's there, Stingy's there. Schizo actually left his house. Actually, you guys don't know this, but if Schizo leaves his house and sees his shadow, then there's 6 more weeks of flight session. And if he doesn't leave his house, that's pretty normal, actually. Schizo was there. Ciati, were you flying with those guys? Roland B, I have no... Roland B, I'm sure that the FAA considers smoking herb to be completely out of the question because it's still not legal at the federal level. So if you have a Part 107, I'm sure that they just assume that you never smoke pot. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but... Didn't get an invite until it was too late. Wow. Wow, I would be offended. Wow, Steele, why you got to disrespect Ciati like that? Calling you out, bro. No, I just heard that starting drama is how you get successful on the internet, so. Wiccan FPV says he had a VTX do the same thing, jumping channels, and it stopped after hooking power directly to the battery. I think it was the Eocene that done it. Maybe it's a power issue. Drunken FPV, you got a Nano VTX. Is it supposed to be powered off 5 volts or VBAT? Smart audio, not tramp, yeah. Alex Dalton. Alex Dalton's here, everybody. Josh H. No dumb questions, Josh. No dumb questions. The only dumb question is the one you asked 57 times in the chat. Stop it. Not you, Josh. I'm just joking. Max Beamer got this tweet yesterday. The FAA liked your tweet, Max. Hey, Max, you got a 107, Max? Because the FAA is watching your channel, Max. You better have your 107, Max. They know. Oh, you may not be monetizing. You may not be I don't know. I think that's funny. I think about this sometimes. I think about the fact that, like, I was in the Charlotte airport a couple months ago, and I was leaning against the wall on my phone. I was actually watching a YouTube video, and somebody came up and said, "Hey, are you Joshua Bardwell?" I was like, "Yes." He was like, "Hey, can I take a, whatever, I watch your channel." I was like, "Oh, wow, cool." Literally, somebody walked up to me in the Charlotte airport randomly and recognized me. And I think about that sometimes because it's easy to imagine that you're, like, flying under the radar. But, like, if some dude in the Charlotte airport watches my channel, then probably some dude at the FAA also watches my channel. Not like to check up on me, just because they watch my content. Wow. Bearing Down in the Discord says, "I'm new. Can you just say hi?" No. Thanks for being a patron, Bearing Down. I do love that story, Ian. I love that story. That's the first time that a random stranger noticed me in public. That's not true. I've been noticed at certain events, but I never thought much of it because, like, I was like, oh, well, there's, like, quadcopter pilots here. There's just higher than average. But that's the first time just in public randomly somebody noticed me. My favorite story about my own notoriety. Here it is. There's a guy here in Knoxville. He is, I think his family's from Spain. I'm not 100% sure, but let's say he's from Spain. His father, he came and he did a video with me where we built a micro together. His father was hiking in the mountains in Spain, in the middle of nowhere, and he hears a drone, and he goes and he finds the people. They're, like, flying a drone, and he's like, "Oh, my son." He was speaking Spanish, of course, but I don't speak Spanish. He says, "My son is into drones. Yeah, he did a video with Joshua Bardwell." And in the middle of nowhere in Spain, this random person is like, "Oh, Joshua Bardwell, your son knows him?" Like, well, yeah, that's right. Okay. No, MBFPV, and I'm not reading that comment on chat. YouTubin', I missed your super chat with $2. YouTubin', sorry I missed your super chat, my friend. Cyclops antenna, DJI only. Does it work on the EV200D? I mean, YouTube, the Cyclops antenna is 2 antenna elements and, like, a certain gain pattern. I guess it would work on the EV200D. I don't see why not. You wouldn't need 4 of them. I guess you would need, I don't know. I don't see why not. Sure, go for it. Calvo, I am in fact a married man. I am married. I understand that it's a little confusing. I don't make a big deal out of my family situation. I am married. I have 2 sons. You'll probably you would know that if you saw my Instagram in yesterday's live stream. Anyway, are the DJI antennas MIMO? Asks License to Drive. That's a good question, and I don't know the answer, License to Drive. I assume that they are MIMO, and the reason I assume that is because the DJI VTX also has 2 antennas. So I assume the answer is that they are MIMO, but I don't know that for a fact. Stan wants to know if I leave my ISDT chargers on all the time. No, I don't. Those aren't ISDT, by the way. Those I have to give respect to. Those are my favorite charger of right now, just hands down, is the HobbyMate D6 Duo. And I have to give a shout out to HobbyMate because they actually just came out, not just, this was actually months ago. They came out with a D6 They came out. It was the D6 Duo is awesome, but it's $160. I still think it's worth that, but not everybody wants to spend that much. But they came out with a D6 version. It's a DC only. See, I'm not lying. I'm not lying. See, I purchased this item. They came out with a DC only version that I'm a big fan of. It's only $110. It doesn't have a power supply, but I already have a power supply. So what you see back there on the bench is 2 of these and 1 of these. And I have a D6 Duo that I take on the road with me because it's super nice to not have to carry a separate power supply. Those are awesome. They're not on all the time. I'm just charging my transmitter in anticipation of tomorrow's trip. Why that versus ISDT? Terraphobia? I mean, you can check out my review of the HobbyMate D6 Duo on my channel if you want the full deal. But I just feel, I think it's better sort of watts per dollar. Pardon me. I think it's better sort of watts per dollar. And it has a built, especially the DC only version, that's only $110. Yeah, it's really good. It's really good. They do look like the ISDT D2, but like if you compare the ISDT D2 to the D6 Duo, the D2 only takes AC input. The D6 Duo is about, I think it's about 200 to 300 watts. I can't remember the exact rating. Oh, it's right here in front of me. I could look it up. I think it has like a 200 watt rating on AC, but then you plug it into DC and it goes up to like 600 watts. So, yeah. Does the TBS Crossfire system require any licensing to operate? Asks Know Your Joe. That is an interesting question, Know Your Joe. I believe that if you look in the Crossfire manual, they claim that they are licensed and you do not need a license to operate it. I have heard other people say that their licenses, that they're not actually compliant, that they like... Well, I'm not going to repeat accusations that I don't know are true. I believe that Crossfire is, in the U.S. at least, you do not need a license to operate it. Let's see here. Let's see here. What do we got? What charging setup would you recommend for a high school drone club? Asks Invert FPV. I mean, I like the HobbyMate D6 Duo. With a high school drone club, you probably need a lot of channels because you probably don't want to be parallel charging. Yeah. Let's see. Ooh, the new HobbyMate H6 Speed. I think I know the one you're talking about, Philoblasta. Let's look at that. HobbyMate H6 Speed. Oh yeah, this is this actually 2 channels though? I'm not sure that this is 2 channels. Are you sure about that? I guess it has 2. Yeah. I'm not convinced this is 2 channels. There's the input on the back, the output on one side, and a fan on the other side. I think this is only 1 channel for $90. I mean, it's 700 watts and 26 amps. That's a lot of output. If we assume that this is in fact a 1-channel charger, then I'm not actually as interested in this one because I don't need 700 watts. Like I can charge my whole parallel charge board at like 15 amps off of like 500 watts, 350 watts or something. I don't remember. So I just don't need a 700 watt charger. I'd rather have 2 350 watt chargers. You follow? Jersey Boy FPV, thanks for $5. Jersey Boy wants to know, could you quickly explain what the difference in the output map and the DST map channels on the Crossfire transmitter are? Jersey Boy, I'll do my best. I don't have a rate. Do I have a... No. I'm not... I would love to just get it and show you, but I'm not sure that it would be worth the time. The output map maps the channels. It says what's going to come out the individual channels. So there's the actual RC channels, channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the output map determines what comes out those channels. And what usually comes out those channels is channel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the output map is kind of boring. The output map is especially boring if you have a quadcopter, because if your channels are in the wrong order, on a quadcopter, you just remap the flight controller and it fixes it, right? But if you think about like an airplane, let's say you've got your transmitter set up and you've got, you know, throttle and rudder, aileron and pitch and elevator. Sorry, these are planes. And you've got those set up on channels 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then you've got another plane and the servos are plugged in to the receiver. What, servos? Yeah, this is a plane. The servos are plugged into the receiver in a different order. Well, you can't just remap the channels in the flight controller, right? There is no flight controller. So the advantage of the Crossfire output map is if you're working with a fixed wing, you can easily reorder the channels by putting channel 1 on channel 2, and you can switch the controls around. That's just not something that the multi-rotor pilot really ever thinks about. So then the other thing is you can control what comes out the individual pins and pads on the receiver. For example, you can make smart audio come out one of the pins, and that's the other output map. I hope that helped, Jersey Boy. Thanks, Roland B, for $5. Says I always answer questions with professionalism. Thank you, Roland B. Let's go back to the Discord. Pat said the Discord is posting chargers that I should look at. This is the Ultra Power UP610. I am 99% sure this one is basically a straight rip of an ISDT. I'm 99% sure that's the one I'm thinking of. $40 for 200 watts and 10 amps is not bad. I'd be curious about, you know, the durability and so forth, but that's not bad. That's a pretty good, you know, price to watts ratio. What else? Pat's Head wants us to take a look at this. This is the ISDT 608. It's a 200 watt AC. 60 watt DC. I'm sure that's 600 watts DC. So this is basically the same specs as a HobbyMate D6 Duo. 200 watts AC, 600 watts DC, roughly the same specs. What does it say? 8 amps. That doesn't make sense. And it has a detachable power supply. But look, this is $60. You could spend $110. No, that's no AC. No, that's pretty good. You get 2 of these for $120. That's cheaper than a D6 Duo. That's actually not bad. And it's got a detachable power supply so you can take it to the field with you. Oh, that's Pat said, thanks for showing me that. I got to get that on my radar. That's pretty cool, actually. Pat said, I really appreciate that. MBFPV in the Discord. Thanks for being a patron, MBFPV. I tried asking this question last night, but I think I asked it too late in the stream. I don't know enough about multiple or simultaneous gyros. Would it be advantageous to use 3 gyros? MBFPV, this is a deeper question than I am qualified to answer. What you're asking about is this, like the sensor fusion is what it's called on the SP Racing H7 and the AIFlight Success boards. And what they do is they have 2 gyro chips. So what's the point? Aren't they reading the same data? Absolutely. What they do is they rotate one of them 45 degrees or 90 degrees to the other. And the simplest thing you can do is you can just average those out. And basically it gives you free increase to your signal to noise ratio because the noise kind of cancels out and the signal comes through. Was there an advantage to having 3 of them? I don't know. Like somewhere out there, people have written PhD theses about the math of combining sensors in this way. And is there an advantage to having 3? I mean, probably, but I'm not really qualified to say. In general, though, adding more gyros gives you better signal to noise ratio, but there's probably a law of diminishing returns. Just Hack It in the pleb chat. Plebs. Hello, plebs. Just Hack It wants to know how to prevent a sudden increase of throttle. I need control at low throttle. Just Hack It. First of all, make sure that you have set your channel endpoints correctly. So make sure that they're going 1,000 to 2,000. And then set your throttle low threshold to like 1005. And the reason that matters is that if you have the default value of like 1050 or 1100 as your throttle low threshold, the throttle will not begin to increase. There's a dead band at the bottom of the throttle. The throttle doesn't actually begin to increase until you've moved it some. And that can cause the throttle to come on suddenly. The other thing you can do is if you have powerful motors and you're inexperienced, it can be really hard to manage the throttle. The solution to that might be to use a throttle limit that will reduce the effective throttle and make your quadcopter slower and weaker, but also easier to manage. UAV Tech says 3 gyros would give a way to have a tiebreaker on 2 gyro signal data. UAV Tech, I don't know if you know about the underlying math or not. My understanding is that what they're doing is they're basically averaging the data from the 2 gyros. So it seems like if having 1 gyro and another gyro 90 degrees to it gives you average data, maybe having like 1 gyro at 45 degrees would be even better. I don't know. Wiccan FPV wants to know if he could add some expo on throttle to help the low-end response. Wiccan FPV, you can add throttle expo to give you a little more control. I would prefer to have a linear throttle, and I would recommend to the average person to have a linear throttle, and just, if you can't manage the throttle, just reduce the throttle entirely. Use a throttle limit. Just take your throttle down to 85%, and you'll get a little bit, you'll get 15% more resolution. Yeah, UAV Tech says they do average the gyros now, but you could do more with 3 gyros. Yeah. My understanding is that what Betaflight's doing right now with sensor fusion, I had a conversation with a flight controller designer, and they said, and they asked me, and I was like, I'm not the guy to ask. They said, you know, what could we be doing better? We know that there's research out there about sensor fusion, and that averaging is just like level 1 sensor fusion, but then we don't know what's next. You could lower the number of cells. You could go from 4S down to 3S to get more control. I wouldn't buy new batteries, though. I would just use a throttle limit. Use a 66% throttle limit. Or no, 75% throttle limit. That's like going from 4S down to 3S. Then you get to keep your batteries. Let's see here. John Daniels asks, can you do an update video for Lewis script? The latest version, I don't know if I'm installing it correctly, but after installing it, it just freezes on the Tyrannus Lewis screen. John, I probably should do an update video. I'm working through the Jumper T16 right now, and doing setup videos for the Jumper T16. I mean, at my pace, it's going to take me 3 months before I have a complete tutorial, but I am working through it. John, in general, all you need to do is download the zip file. I mean, let's do it right now. I'm not going to put it on the radio, but John, here, let's, Betaflight, no, I don't want to lose this tab. I don't want to forget about this radio. Betaflight Lewis script. So, John, here we are. We're going to go to the releases. Oh, yeah. What? Hello. Suck it. Oh, look. See? Hey, Painless 360. How you like being number 4 Painless 360? Oh, yeah. No, I'm just joking. Sorry. I'm just kidding. I'm feeling rambunctious tonight. So, pardon me. Now I'm choking. Now I'm choking. See, that's punishment for my hubris. We're going to go to this page. Betaflight TX Lewis scripts 141. Okay. We're gonna down. Painless 360 is such a nice guy too. How could I just hey, Painless 360? How do you like being number 4? I'm gonna message him right now. We're gonna open the zip file. Here it is. Now this, just don't worry about this. We're gonna go in here. These things, you're gonna drop onto your SD card. That's all you gotta do. That's all you got to do. That's it. And then you've done it. Man, you know something's up when you're trash talking Painless 360. He's not even here. I mean, Andy is in the chat. At least he can defend himself. Here's the reason I don't make fun of Andy, FPV. Because Andy's on top of me. When it comes to beta flight, no offense, but I'll come up ahead of Andy in the search results. But Andy just cranks out these videos about these micro quads and other products, and I'm like, why didn't I review that product? And then, yeah, Andy's gonna if I search for like here we go. We're gonna do this right now in the stream. I made Diatone GT 349. Videos. Well, bang good. Who's this? Drone Camps RC? Oh, wow. Albert Kim. Uh-oh. Andy, Albert beat you. Oh, no. Albert Kim's cleaning up. What did Andy do a video of lately? What did Andy do a video? Let's see. Andy, latest 3-inch DJI analog tarsier. And what product are you reviewing here, Andy? 3-inch DJI. What is the name of the product you're reviewing here, Andy? You got to put the name. Look, Andy. This is why you're not ahead of me. What is the name of the product you're reviewing? You got to put the name in the title, Andy. This is the GEP RC edit. Where's the edit button? I got to fix this. It's the GEP RC. So I don't even know what it is. Okay, anyway. It's not a product. It isn't? I mean, it's the GEP RC. What is that? Here's the thing. What is that 3-inch you're flying in that video, Andy? I am interested in it, and I would like to buy it. Oh, I don't know. Oh, man. Put user in timeout. Oh, okay. Wow, this live stream's gone. This might be the best live stream I ever did. A teaser title. I don't know about that, Tread to You. It depends on whether you're targeting search or whether you're targeting your subscribers. So here's a little YouTube tutorial. When you make a video, there's 2 audiences that you're targeting. One is your existing subscribers who will see the notification or they'll see the video in their recommended and you want them to click. Now, your existing subscribers, you attract differently than people who aren't subbed to you yet. Like existing subscribers, you can be a little coy with because they know what to expect from you and you could like tease them a little or draw them in, right? But people who don't sub to your channel, you gotta grab them and you attract them with different. So this title, 3-inch DJI HD FPV indoors, that's definitely not going to attract somebody who isn't already. I mean, it doesn't feel like that's going to get somebody who isn't already your sub, because they don't know what is that 3-inch DJI HD FPV. I'll tell you what though, and UAV Futures is the master of this principle. Product names in video titles get views. So I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm just saying it's true. Andy RC. Andy's the man. Albert Kim is also the man. Andy and Jack do the podcast. Okay. Tony Briz says you have to target SEO. Yeah, there's 2 things you can target, Tony. You can target search terms, but also search terms. You target a search term, you're assuming that the person is searching for your content. but actually a lot of YouTube traffic comes from the recommended videos on the right side. And those, you need a really eye-catching title and, most importantly, a thumbnail, because that's going to get people to click when they didn't search for your content. So, who is the real Mr. Banggood of FPV, says Jet Jitters. I know a way you can know the answer. Every so often, every year, Banggood does a giant annual competition among their affiliates. And the affiliates, if you get like in the top 100 of the affiliates, you get a bonus. This is not private information. This is all public stuff. It's all over their webpage because they want affiliates. And there's a page where they show the leaderboard of the affiliates. And they don't show the affiliate code because that would be a violation of privacy. What they show is the first and the last letter of the affiliate code with stars. So if you know somebody's affiliate code, you could figure out if they're in the leaderboard, because like, what are the chances of two affiliate codes having the same, right? The same start, beginning and ending letter. And the last time this happened, I went through all of the big YouTubers and I looked, because this is what I do with my spare time. I looked up their affiliate code because it's right there in the links in their videos. And I looked at the leaderboard and I saw who was in the top 10. I'm not going to say who was in the top 10, but you can do that next time this happens. Next time the Banggood anniversary sale happens. Wiccan FPV wants to know about the big lights over my workbench. Those are the Neewer LED panel. There, I got them on Amazon, but you don't have to if you don't want to. Those are the Neewer LED panel. It's I'm pretty sure it's this one. Nah, well, it doesn't say you purchased this, so this isn't the exact one I bought, but it's pretty close. Does this one come with a barn door? Oh, it comes with a barn door. That's why this isn't the one I bought, but you get the idea. Wonderboy21 wants to know, is it possible to get Spectrum RSSI without a Spectrum receiver? I don't want to spend $40 just for RSSI. How would you use Spectrum without a Spectrum receiver? That doesn't make any sense. Caesar FPV, or Jose Navarro says, cough, cough, UAV futures. How do you know it wasn't me? How do you know I'm not in the top 10? The only way to know is to, next time the Banggood anniversary sale happens, that's how you know. Drunken FPV wants to know if I can talk about the Aomway Commander V1S and their current insane price. I can talk about that, and in fact, I already did, but I'll do it again. Oh, I see. It's an off-brand receiver, like a third-party receiver. I don't know about that. How do you get RSSI with Spectrum at all? I mean, you need a telemetry receiver, right? Let's see here. I actually posted about the Amway Commanders. They are for sale on Banggood right now. Hello. Hello. Come on, load the page. Load the page. They are for sale on Banggood right now for like $178. I'm going to throw the link here in the chat because, and yeah, it's an affiliate link. If you want, here's the thing. Amway Commanders, when they get to around $250 to $200, I think that's the buy. They're not as good as some of the $300 goggles, pardon me. But if $200 is your price point, it's a steal. So, yeah, go for that. I would also, as long as we're here, I would also like to show you this teaser video that I made. Pardon me. Wow. Gonna have to hold on. I would also like to show you this teaser video I made for my DJI rapid fire. I'm very proud of this, so do not make fun of this. Do not make fun of this. You're gonna hit all three of them in a row. You're gonna hit all. You can't hit it. You can't hit that gap. Oh, you're gonna hit all three of them in a row. You're gonna hit all three of them backwards in a row. What channel are you on? Okay. Okay. I'm on your channel. Let's see it. Oh my God! Okay. I'm really glad I saw that. I wasn't recording. So I did some compositing. I'm really proud of myself. Plummet FPV says, JB, you're nuts. My nuts what? That's the apostrophe RE. JB, you're nuts. I'm still flying Amway Commanders and they rock. Plummet FPV, the Commanders they are solid goggles. I think that at the $300 price point, you can do better with a different goggle. I would take the SkyZone Sky O2S or Sky O2C, whichever one it was, for $300 over an Amway Commander all day long. So I just think that the build quality is a little better on like the SkyZones. I don't think the Amway is a bad goggle. I just think that it is outcompeted at the $300 price point. But I think at the $280, the $250, the $200 price point, the Amway Commander is a fine goggle. Andy RC, you are correct. The dog is in the background multiple times, but I felt like it was good enough. Yeah, UAV Tech says for $300 you can get HD2s on eBay. Yeah. A Sky O2X versus the Sky O3O, asks Moreno A. Is the O3 worth the difference? If so, what's a good buy price for that model? Moreno, I think the Sky O3O is an amazing goggle. Let me just be really clear about that. You can watch the full review of the Sky O3O on my channel, although, strangely, watch this, guys. SkyZone Sky O3O. Okay, so it's not there. Am I typing it right? 030. Okay. I think I'm typing it wrong. But notice, where's JB? Where's JB? How does it feel, Joshua? You're not even in the frickin' list. Now watch this. SkyZone 030, Joshua Bardwell. Nope. Hey, screw you, Albert Kim. Screw you. Oh, no. Painless 360 getting his revenge. Who is this guy? Pinchtune. I haven't even heard of this guy. Kebab. Where am I? Where am I in the list? UAV Futures? I'm not even in the list. I don't know what is going on with this video. Something's wrong with the SEO on this video. I can't find my own freaking review of it. But if I go to my channel and type SkyZone Sky 030, what the F? Have I typed it wrong? Here's my review of this goggle. Have I typed it wrong? I don't know. Look, 030. Why? It doesn't. Oh my God. 030. Anyway, I have a review on my channel. You can't find it. It's not possible. See, look, it knows it's the same. It won't even let me save it. How could it? Oh, anyway. But, what was the question? The SkyZone Sky 030 is an amazing goggle at around the $420 price point. It's fine to buy it at that price point. What you got to price shop it against is the HDO. The HDO currently costs $450, but you got to buy a module for it. So the actual price of the HDO for you is going to be closer to $500 to $550, maybe $600 if you get like a rapid fire. So the HDO is a much more expensive goggle. The Sky 030 is fantastic, and it's fully self-contained at a price of around $420. Then you come down to something like the Sky 02X, which is closer to $300. Is it worth the price difference? I mean, only you can say how much. People always ask me, is it worth it? Only you can say how much your money is worth to you. Some people struggle to find $10 to buy fast food for lunch. Other people spend $50 on steak and don't even think twice about it. Which one of those people are you? I can say that the 030 is just a hands down better goggle than the O2X. The image on it is very good. Put a space between Sky and 030. Is that what it is? No, but I searched for that exact term. So, like, here, look. Sky Zone. We got it, right? Sky, got it. Now it's going to work. 030. Okay, now we got it. But Sky Zone, Sky 030. Screw you. And now it's fixed. I've been so mad about that not showing up in search results. It's going to take 27 days for it to re-index itself, but maybe it'll come up. Anyway. Oh, Angel Adrian FPV says, when I searched for 030, your video came first. Oh, maybe it's me. Okay. Just Hack It has been trying to get an answer to this question, but Just Hack It, I appreciate that you are not spamming the stream. You're just patiently re-asking the question. What's the line? I don't know, but I appreciate it. Just Hack It says, my motors get heated at 8K PID loop and remain cool at 2K. I'm running the Mamba Mark II, running yada yada yada. I've checked for other shorts and other values as default. Just Hack It, running at a lower PID loop kind of just acts like a low pass filter. So probably what's happening is you have excess vibration. Maybe your D gain is too high. You could probably achieve the same thing by turning the filters down and filtering more. If you have hot motors, though, if you have hot motors and you change the PIDs, then the issue is not like overpropping or physical damage. So I would, if I were in your situation, I would probably run 8K, but then try to adjust the filters to get the motors cool again. Okay. Gregory McDillan wants to know, is it possible to build a race quad with 8+ minute flight times? Gregory, you have to define what you mean by race quad there. A typical 5-inch racing quad is made for, racing always refines itself to the conditions defined by the race format. So if you're in multi-GP and you need to do a 2-minute qualifier, racers will build the lightest quad they can possibly build to finish 2 laps. And they'll run the smallest battery they can to smoke across the line with the battery puffed and dead, right? So can you build a racing quad with an 8-minute flight time? Absolutely. Define a racing format where an 8-minute flight time is required. And then someone will build a racing quad that does 8 minutes. Now, here's what you're not going to like. It's going to be, it's going to be heavy. It's not going to be the same. Look at DRL versus multi-GP. The DRL guys are running enormous 5S 7-inch props, 25-something motors. I don't know. I don't remember. Right? These guys are all, it's a different quad. So if you mean a multi-GP style 5-inch race quad with an 8-minute flight time, I mean, maybe if you put a big enough battery on it, but it's not going to fly like you expect it to. I mean, if you just hover it, maybe it would hover for 8 minutes. Maybe. 2510, that's right. That's what I thought it was. I wasn't sure. John Larson, I got super chats coming in. I'm so busy teasing people about search results. John Larson, thanks for $2. Thanks for your build and Betaflight vids. Very helpful. Raven187, thanks for $2 Australian dollars. Dollary dues. I apologize, Australians. That's not appropriate. I shouldn't do that. Gal Kremer is awesome, too. Here's the thing. I feel bad. I'm really sorry I picked on Canadians earlier by saying that Canadians apologize. I'm sorry, Canadians. But I feel completely justified in having a little fun with Australians because every Australian, Australians, please take this in a positive sense, but just every Australian I've met is a total jackass. I'm sure there are nice, quiet, polite Australians. I haven't met them. And they all want to just poke you. They want to poke you. And then you're like, hey, stop poking me. And they're like, I'm just having a laugh. Just having a laugh. So I feel like if I'm making fun of Australians a little bit by calling their money dollary dues, I feel like that's just in the spirit. I don't know. Thank you, Dean. Thanks for $5. Dean says, Keith, I know you're watching. Quit being cheap and join JB's Discord. You need all the help you can get. Thank you, Dean. I swear I didn't make that up. Brenton Smith is offended that I called him jackasses. Maybe jackass is not translating right. Jackass isn't it just means, you know, you're just, I don't know, what's the Australian translation of that? It doesn't mean like a bad thing. It just means you're cutting up all the time. You know, you're not serious. And you poke a lot. Okay. Anyway. Chris Quad, thanks for $2 Australian. See, that proves that I was right. I don't dislike them. I do. The Australian sense of humor takes some getting used to. I can see. Yeah. Well, guys, we got about 10 minutes left in the stream. I've had a lot of fun. Thank you very much. I hope we've answered some questions. I feel like I've had some fun. Had a little extra comedy in this stream. Endearing. Yeah. Do I have any opinions on the Runcam Phoenix? Jake H., I reviewed the Runcam Phoenix Oscar Leon camera. I think it's a very, very good looking camera in the daylight. It has a little too much sharpening, but my JB Micro Eagle also has a little too much sharpening, so let it go. I turned the sharpening down on the Oscar Leon Phoenix, and I really liked it. However, when it gets darker, it doesn't do nearly as well. Like, you see it in the daylight, and you're like, wow, this is a very good camera. And then it gets to dusk, and you're like, well, maybe not so much. So, John Daniels, thanks for $3 in the super chat. I did what you said, but the Lua freezes the VTX screen. John, what radio? What radio, John? Ding Dong Drift says, when are you announcing the winner for the contest? Ding Dong Drift, I will announce the winner for the contest this afternoon at about 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. I posted it to my channel. I had already announced the winner. You did not subscribe, and you didn't hit the notification bell, or you would have got a notification, my friend. It's announced already. The winners, I hate to say this, but you probably didn't win. I mean, just statistically, there were 14,000 entries, so you probably didn't, so don't worry about it. Wiccan FPV wants to know if I've done any successful 3D prints yet. Yes, I printed... Hang on a second. Hang on, I'll show you. Boom. That is my only successful 3D print to date. It is a XYZ sample cube that came with the printer. Printed in PLA. Oh, it's just, you can't see the X, Y, and Z because the camera's overexposed. Printed in PLA. I don't count that, though. I don't count that. That's not a print. So I'm still working on it. ZD Kroot, the JB Micro Eagle and the regular Micro Eagle are the exact same camera. I just tweaked the settings on it. The number one thing that I would suggest is turning the max gain down to 1, which fixes the white flash problem. You can do that on any camera. Let's see here. Max Beamer, the PID values do not have different strengths in 4.1 than they used to. In fact, Mark Spatz has said, and I was surprised to hear him say this, but he did say it, that the PID controller itself hasn't fundamentally changed since 3.5, since 3.5.7. that basically you could copy your PIDs, but other things have changed. Like feed forward, there's the new feed forward V2 or whatever they're calling it. Other things have changed that cause the quad to fly differently with the same PID values, but the PIDs themselves basically have the same strength. Tread to you. Thanks for $5. Thanks for sharing your knowledge with us plebs. I really hope I haven't horribly offended Australians. Sorry. Unsub. All of Australia has unsubbed. Anyway. John Daniels has the Tyrannus X9D Plus. Damn, John. I don't know, man. The X9D Plus should really run the Lewis scripts. I mean, I could try downloading it and testing it. But if it's freezing up like that, man, that is tough. Are you on the latest version of OpenTX? Maybe OpenTX and the Lewis script go together. Maybe upgrade OpenTX. Thank you Discord for helping me catch that message. Chris Quad, thanks for $5 Australian. Yeah, us Aussies have a pokey sense of humor. It's usually endearing and means we like the person the flak is targeted at. Keep saying dollary do. I don't know. Okay. Yeah. I'll talk to my therapist about it. Yeah, John, make sure you're on the... John with the Lewis script problem, make sure that you are on the latest version of OpenTX as well as the latest Lewis script. You can also try rolling back the Lewis scripts to older versions and see if it fixes it. Helicoptrosis, I got a Betaflight update notice. If I update my PC, do I have to do anything on the quad? Yes, you have to flash the quadcopter with the new version of Betaflight. You just updated the configurator. You haven't actually updated your quad. You don't have to update your quad, but just updating your computer doesn't do anything. Yeah, Betaflight, in the Discord, they're talking about how Betaflight 4.1 feels different than 3. Yeah, it does feel different. Like, iTerm relax changed. Feed forward changed, okay? I don't know what Mark Spatz means. I'll be honest with you. I don't know what Mark Spatz means when he says that the PID controller hasn't changed. I think what he means is that, like, the P, the I, and the D calculation hasn't changed, but so many other things have changed around them that, like, the quad just feels different. So, I'm not sure what he means. Maybe he'll speak up if he's still here. Folks, it's coming up on 10 o'clock. We got 2 minutes to go. Don't leave yet because Aaron Ciotti FPV is starting his stream after mine. And if you just can't get enough of this kind of thing, you can keep going. You don't have to stop. Aaron, where have you been, dude? Are you in the stream right now? Aaron, I'm going to try to find his live stream. Nope, it's all my live streams that he was on. Let's find his live stream and throw a up a link for you guys. Where is Ciotti? Come on. He's not live yet. He hasn't gone live yet. He's still waiting. There he is. There's the chat. So we're going to wrap up here. Thank you guys for coming out. A reminder that there will not be a stream next weekend unless somehow I manage to stream from the road, but I wouldn't count on it. I will be out of town Sunday and Monday and more of next week. So I will miss you guys terribly, but I'll be releasing extra content to make up for it. And maybe Ciotti will take my time slot. Sometimes he does that. That's going to do it for this video. That's going to do it for this live stream. Thank you guys so much. And I will see you 2 weeks from now. And I'm out of here. Bye, guys. Oh, Slurp Dirks. Super Deluxe. Thanks for $20 in the super chat, man. That's it. No question. Okay, now I'm out of here.